Calculus families, welcome to Back to School Night, the virtual edition. I'm appreciative of your time to watch this video and learn a little bit more about our class. Okay, my background in education, I went to the University of Iowa and majored in mathematics, and then I got my master's in mathematics education at DePaul University. I have taught middle school, I've taught high school, and some community college as well. I've enjoyed actually all the different levels. We, as a family, we actually moved from Chicago about 4 years ago to California. All of our family is still back in Chicago, and this was a big move for our family. And we are really enjoying it. We're enjoying the mountains and the ocean and really love it. And once we got here, previously I'd been home with my children for 13 years, and it was time to go back into education, and I couldn't be happier that I landed here at Fremont. This has been a wonderful experience. I've never worked at a better place that cared more about students and their staff and families. It's really been incredible. So I'm very grateful to be beginning my 4th year here at Fremont. So my philosophy, a couple of things that I want you to know, first of all, is that my job is to make sure that your student feels safe and is able to grow and learn without fear of making mistakes. I tell them I'm expecting those mistakes to happen, and that's how we're actually going to learn. It's a difficult thing for a lot of people, adults included. No one really likes that uncomfortable feeling of not knowing. But I'm trying to also enforce the notion that if you know everything, you really shouldn't be in this class. You're learning nothing. So we really do want to have those mistakes happen and to share those so that others can learn from them as well. We're going to ask all the questions. So I don't want students to be nervous or embarrassed to ask questions, to ask for clarification. They should be learning to advocate for themselves and to get the resources that they need in order to be successful. This picture here is from my physical classroom. It is the learning pit, and this is where I throw students every day. They go into the learning pit. I tell them it's rocky in there. They're probably going to be bleeding. There's mosquitoes. It's uncomfortable and yucky, probably humid down there. Who knows? And their job is to work through that discomfort and to help each other to get out of the pit. So each day they're going to be working and helping and talking and asking and getting that deep learning while they're in that place. Once they get out of the pit, they help others to get out, and then I throw them all back in there. So we basically are going to continue getting thrown in and climbing out for the entire year. And really, I tell them that's kind of my life philosophy too, is that's pretty much where we always are, right? We're learning and we're trying to move forward, and we're trying to help each other as we do that. Our daily routine, I've been recording videos for students and posting the YouTube links for them to take their notes before class. So I'm flipping the classroom so that students will have a little more time to sit with the material, absorb it if they want to watch it again or pause it and try some examples out. They should be writing down their questions or confusions they're having. This won't be a spot where they have feel that they've mastered the topic. This is just setting the stage. When they actually get to class with me, with our Zoom meeting, we'll be doing the practice. We'll be working with teams of students. We'll be working in a full group. We'll be doing classwork with keys that they can go ahead and check on. Each day we will have an exit ticket, and the exit ticket will be showing up on their Schoology account in their gradebook. So speaking of those exit tickets, they are recorded, so you will see your students' progress. They do not count as a grade. So this is just feedback for the student, for myself, and for you as the parent or guardian to see how they're doing. Most times when they do that exit ticket, they don't have the concept mastered. And this is supposed to tell them they need to put in more time and effort to get that solid foundation. I do post their classwork with keys in the Schoology folder. So any classwork they do, they should be checking and revising. Okay, for independent practice, this is their homework assignment, their homework assignment for each week. And the expectation is they're putting in that effective effort. So they're using the resources they have, they're coming to office hours if they have questions. The grade is based on practicing the current skills we're learning in class. There's one assignment a week with about 8 questions, and the key is posted after the due date. If they get 5 points, it's 5 points total. That does not mean they did everything correctly. That means they tried with effective effort every single problem. It is their responsibility to go back and to go with that key, find any misconceptions. They should be reworking problems, maybe color coding any issues so that they can make sure they solidify that understanding. Late work is accepted with a 1-point deduction until the day of the test. So if that happens, they still can turn that in. The assessments we have this year planned so far are about 1 to 2 quizzes each unit, and then a unit test. The assessments are going to vary. Some will be just fill in the blank using Schoology. Some will be, write your answer maybe in a short couple sentences, something like that. Some they will need to show their full process and upload that document, and some will actually ask them to verbally explain their understanding. And in this way, we're hoping to really make sure that they are grasping these concepts so that they'll be successful moving forward. If your student needs extra help, and again, they most likely will need it because they don't know all this material yet. So there should be some bumps in the road. If that happens, they should be visiting me in office hours. We also have Mr. Steffen, who is a retired Fremont High School math teacher, and he is volunteering a whole lot of his time to help our students in mathematics. So the information is here, and your students have that as well. The online textbook, we are working with the publisher right now to get things straightened out. They should have access to that. We also have a physical copy that they may check out. And then Khan Academy, especially if they're having some algebra issues, if their algebra foundation is not really strong, we're really jumping far off of that algebra foundation. So if that's shaky, that's another place where they can go and get some extra help with that. And also with office hours, I am actually going to require them to visit me for office hours 1 to 2 times every unit. Again, that doesn't affect their grade, but I want them to get used to coming and asking for that help, or at the very least, just checking in and letting me know that they're doing okay. Communication is key. So my email address is posted here, my Google phone number is posted here, and I will try to respond within 24 hours on our working days. So please, if something does not seem right, if you have questions, you always are welcome to reach out to me, and your students, I would love for them to advocate for themselves, which they've been doing actually quite well with. Academic integrity, please remind your student that the work they submit should always be their own, which means we're not sharing test questions with other students. We're not talking about the test with other students. We're making sure that everyone is really using their own knowledge to be able to complete those assessments. The goal is that we're going to learn deeply in order to continue achieving. If we're putting work that's not our own, we're not setting ourselves up for success. The subsequent classes are going to be even more of a struggle. So we really do want students to just provide their very own work. Our grading percentages and categories are here, and this is also in the syllabus. So you can go ahead and take a look. We're breaking down the foundation application is 60%, stretching and extension type problems are 20%, and then the independent practice and classwork participation area there is 20. And then our grade breakdown is here with 80 being the lowest A, 65 is the lowest B, 50 is the lowest C, and we do not give D's in pre-calculus. Upcoming dates, so just to let you know, your students have a test this coming Monday and Tuesday, depending on which day they see me, and they will finish that test on Thursday or Friday, again, depending on when they see me. The review packet needs to be turned in by the first day that they take the test, and the late homework should also be turned in by that day. The review packet is not homework, however, I highly suggest that they work on at least the parts that are most in need of practice and check those answers and process. Studying for math, sometimes students have a little bit of trouble, and I just put some information here, but the gist of this is students must be doing problems that they have the answers to. So they need to actually put themselves in a place where they don't see any hints and they try to do that problem on their own. If there's an issue, if they get stuck, that means they have a little more work to do, and I'm here to support and help them with that work. Resources, I've put these in the slides for you as well, but there's, if you need any technology, Chromebook, hotspot, anything like that, there's a link for that, and also our remote learning resources for parents. Thank you so much for listening to my little introduction here for our class. I'm super excited to be working with your students. I know this is a very unique year, but I'm still really fortunate and excited that I can have this time with the students to learn and grow. So I'm looking forward to an awesome year, and thank you again so much for your support.